All right, guys, and welcome to another Saturday Mega Wellness. I'm Del with Mega Sports, and we have a great show planned for you guys today. Please say hello to Alex Guillaume from Hoka One One.
Hello,
Good
everyone.
morning, Alex.
Hi, how's it going,
Alex,
Del?
we're happy to have you here. I know we've been planning on having you for a while, so I'm glad we were able to make it work.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Now, Alex, you are our field experience rep in Charlotte. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I've been the field experience rep here in Charlotte since January of this year, and it's been an incredible experience. So I'm very happy to be on here today and tell you a little bit about Hoka and what I do.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I want to just say with our previous shows, we've had these technical reps from brands join our show before, but a field experience rep is something that's pretty new to our audience. So I'll give you a chance to go ahead and tell us a little bit more, because you have a real 360 marketing approach with your role there.
Correct. Yes, thank you. So field experience rep for Hoka really does have that 360 approach to marketing. Not only are we experts on the product in regards to interfacing with different people out there who want to learn more, but we really try to set up unique and special activations with individuals who want to experience our brand. And so Hoka is a really strong storytelling brand, and so we really thrive on creating unique experiences that bring the brand to life.
Yeah, and of course we of course have Hoka One One in our stores. It's a very popular shoe that we have this rule that everyone just needs to try it on, and we'll talk about that later on in your segment. But really, the story and the beauty of Hoka One One is we've partnered with you guys on several community activities. I know we've done some healthcare hero activities with you guys. This is a brand that's not only great for runners, but we'll talk about how it's also a great shoe for really everyone.
Yeah, no, you touched on it perfectly. We really do want to empower a world of athletes, no matter who you are. And so we have been really trying to focus on anyone that just wants to find it easier to move. And so we have products that are geared towards a wide variety of people, and can't wait to get into that later today.
Yeah, well, at Mega Sports, we encourage folks to run more, move more, and play more. So, Alex, I'm going to jump into some Omega news right now, and we're going to do a wellness share. So hang out with us for a little while, and then we'll have you right back on, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks, Del.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. Well, it is Halloween. I'm sure you expected me to dress up in some kind of, crazy outfit, but didn't happen. So I apologize for that. But we are absolutely excited about this weekend. Remember, we've got our Mega Flex happening today. Today is the last day for our Mega Flex. So make sure you're checking your emails this morning so that you know what the offer is, you know how to use the offer. It's a great day to go in stores. It's a great day to shop online. So definitely make sure that you're checking your emails today. Make sure that you're on the lookout for our email tomorrow drop that we're going to be dropping tomorrow. So please make sure that you're checking your emails. Also, I just want to remind folks that all week we've been talking about our Play More Studio. That is our content hub. So all these great guides that we've put together, all these wonderful Ask the Experts articles, wellness articles, everything's now in one nice little nifty little hub. So make sure that you check out our playmore.omegasports.com. I put it in the email, so you can't miss it. But I do want to remind folks that this is a new initiative that we've launched to make sure that we provide folks not just great products, but really some insightful information, some helpful information, and some entertainment as well. So that's where you're going to find our new podcast, our Women's Only podcast, hosted by Cleo Fawcett. We've got a new podcast announcement coming up. Soon we'll be launching a new series with Daisy in North Hills. I mean, we've got so many things in the works for this new content studio. So please make sure you check out our playmore.omegasports.com. And pretty soon you too will be able to infuse some content on our website there in our content studio. So be on the lookout for that. We've got some fun things planned in the month of November. So again, make sure you check your email today, take advantage of what is offered today, and then check your email tomorrow so that you can definitely make sure that you're taking advantage of our big drop tomorrow. All right, so let's jump into my wellness share now / InstaFave. So Dr. Sankey from TruMotion Therapy has always been with us since we've started the show, and we wanted to go ahead more than ever. We think it's important to talk about everyone that's at home working, they're at home teaching their kids. So he did a great video that's been very popular. It was popular when we shared it. It's popular on his Instagram page. So we want to go ahead and play it once again. This is Dr. Sankey from TruMotion Therapy talking about how to really create that virtual environment so that you're not hurting yourself in the long run.
This is for all my desk workers out there. We are going to go through a proper ergonomics checklist. So now many of you are working from home, you're out of the office, and you don't have your normal desk with you. So you're probably working from your couch. Gosh, some people are working from their bed. Hopefully not. Maybe you're just working from a kitchen table and things are just a little off. They're just not what you're used to having at the office. And here in our office, we're seeing more cases of neck pain, more cases of back pain because people's environment is different. Your work environment is different, your exercise environment's different. So when you're working from home, you want to set up your desk as best you can to mimic a good setup that you have at the office. So we're going to go through a little checklist that you can follow along with. Maybe you're sitting at your home office right now. Follow through on this checklist. See if you can hit all these points. And if you can't, then just make the simple adjustments. So, little disclaimer here. I don't spend a lot of time here at this desk. I'm up and moving around throughout the day, so my setup is not perfectly dialed in, but it's pretty close. If I were spending a lot more time here, I would certainly make sure I had it more dialed, but for me it works great for what I have. So for you, what I want you to just have a nice comfortable chair, something where your feet can be flat on the floor, your knees at about a 90-degree angle, and your back can be resting against the back of the chair. You don't want something so deep that your feet are off the floor or anything like that. So from here, we want to make sure that when your hands are resting on your workspace, okay, whether that's a desk or keyboard, whatever, that your elbows make about a 90-degree angle. We'll often find that people's desks are too high and their arms are up like this. That'll over time put more stress on the shoulders and the neck. So you want to make sure that your arms are at a 90-degree angle. Additionally, you want your keyboard and your mouse pulled in nice and close to you so you don't have to reach for them like this. We can reach forward, and that puts us into this slumped position, puts a lot of pressure on the neck and the shoulders. We don't want that. So you want to have that keyboard and that mouse nice and pulled in close to you. Now, if you're working from a laptop, make sure you have that screen angled up towards you so you don't have to try to meet it down like this. Ideally, if you're spending a lot of time at a desk, you want a monitor. You want something that's right here in front of you so you don't have to lean down like this. So have that monitor at eye level. Okay, at minimum, you want the top of the monitor to be at eye level. And you can adjust that by putting some books or some reams of paper under it, but you want that at eye level. Okay, so those are the three big things: monitor at eye level, keyboard and mouse in close to you, and elbow at 90 degrees. Now, if some of you have a standing desk, that's great. Nothing changes, right? If you just raise the desk up, just make sure you've got those elbows at a 90-degree angle and everything close to you like that. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. The big takeaway, though, is you can have all of this set up perfectly, but if you're just staying stagnant for 8 hours at a time, not moving, things are just going to hurt. We need movement. Motion is lotion, rest is rust. We need movement throughout our day. So make sure you're not spending more than 45 minutes sitting at one time. Stand up, do some squats, take a lap around the house, play with your dog, whatever it is. Just make sure you're not sitting for too long. And when you are sitting, make sure you're set up appropriately. Make sure you've got a good home base that you can be comfortable in. I hope that was helpful.
All right, well, we always are appreciative of Dr. Sankey and his great content that he shares. If you are interested in following him, you can certainly go to his page on Instagram. It is that's at TruMotion Therapy. And then, of course, if you're in the South Charlotte area, because he is a Charlotte chiropractor, you can always find all the services that he offers at TruMotionTherapy.com. So his website is TruMotionTherapy.com. Guys, I just want to give a quick little shout out to some of the things he said. Motion is lotion. Rest is rust. So if there's a takeaway that I want everyone to take away from that is obviously create the right environment for yourself. But more importantly, as he ended his video, if you are stagnant and you're sitting there for hours and hours, then you need to get up and start moving. Because as you know, we are a big movement focused company and we want people out there moving more. All right. So how we like to do that is with great brands. So I'm going to go ahead and now bring in our fantastic guest here. But before I do, I want to give everyone, if you haven't heard of Hoka One One, or maybe you've heard about it, or maybe you've seen it at a run club and you just haven't tried it on yet, I want to play a video for you guys so that you get a real sense of the brand. They're great storytellers. They really do motivate you and really kind of encourage you to try this kind of new technology that they're known for. So let's go ahead and watch a video on Hoka One One.
This is the little story about a big shoe. It's called The Rundown. Just in time, fellas. Please meet the founders of Hoka One One, Nico and Jean-Luc. And this is the French Alps, where they're from. It's on these rugged mountain trails where they had the idea for what would become Hoka One One. Initially, they started making shoes for themselves. But soon word got out, and more people wanted what they had. Influenced by gravity sports, they desired to bring the adrenaline feeling of those activities to running. See, running is a series of starts and stops, not great for the legs. They decided running would be better if it had momentum, like, yeah, these guys. There were plenty of running shoes out there, but nothing like what they had in mind. Their idea? Add cushion, a wider sole, use lightweight materials, and put a rocker in the midsole. This would make running smoother. Well, easy kid. This was their first prototype. Their second. And their last. Never satisfied, they continued carving foam, shaping foam, gluing foam, and running on that foam. What they discovered was a solution to a universal running problem, maintaining momentum from stride to stride. Go get him, Jim. What works on the world's most punishing trails also helps any runner, on any surface, at any pace. Like him and her and her and him and, well, everybody. At Hoka, we promise to constantly tinker in the pursuit of better running, for a sensation that feels more like, flying. Designing, testing, over and watch out! And over, to create the lightest, most cushioned, most efficient shoes possible. Whether that's for running on the world's most punishing trails, the road, track, or simply around your neighborhood, we strive to make running easier. If there's an improvement in running to be made, Hoka will make it. So runners can keep momentum going from mile to mile, day after day. Nice work. Oh, right. Of course. You want to keep running. Okay then, have a good run, everybody.
Well, I want to just thank Alex Guillaume for sharing that fantastic video. I mean, what a great video to kind of get people warmed up about Hoka One One. So again, just a reminder for folks that are just joining us, Alex Guillaume, our field experience rep from Charlotte, works with Hoka One One. He helps our active play experts build up their knowledge and their love and affinity for the brand. But also, I know, Alex, you're doing a lot of things virtually. You're helping marketing. You're pushing out a lot of love. You're connecting with a lot of runners out there. So just once again, remind us again, kind of all the wonderful things that your role allows you to do to really kind of teach people that it's time to fly.
Great. Thank you, Del. Yeah, it's funny. Every single time I watch that video, it just sparks joy and excitement about the brand and my job on a day-to-day level. So yeah, I'll quickly touch on what I do and what I've been doing since I've started at Hoka. It's very unique because I was brought on to be a field experience rep, and what the origin of that really is spending time out in the field. So, visiting as many accounts and really connecting with as many people as possible in an environment where that's safe. And so March happened, and we all know pandemic kind of took over many industries, and meeting in person and creating events wasn't safe, and it still isn't in some areas. And so it was really unique because I think a lot of event marketers and people that their jobs were to create these special, unique experiences had to really pivot and figure out a way to create those same special interactions that people are craving and were craving throughout the first months of the pandemic. And so we all really had to really shift mindsets and really figure out, how to interact with people and really put the brand in front of people that may have never been exposed to Hoka in the first place. And so I think a lot of that comes down to just thinking creatively and really working as a team, and not only within just our brand, but with partners like Omega Sports, and really just figuring out what is best for all parties, and really just trying to figure out how to create something unique. And so I think a lot of that comes down to doing these wellness videos with you as a host, and really just getting the word out there and putting it on platforms where people are still active and it's still safe to really explore and learn more about something. And so, so I really do cover marketing now from an in-person experience where it's safe, and then virtual. So really trying to create those experiences for consumers in a virtual setting.
Yeah, I mean, we came across you. Obviously, our Active Play experts work with you, but you've been putting out some good videos. You've been really kind of rising to the occasion of making sure that people stay in the know of all the wonderful things that are happening with Hoka One One. Alex, aren't you like delighted and surprised, even though the world has been kind of like in a standstill in some respects, right? Paused a lot of things in our lives, but people were moving. They're actually out there running more. I mean, we felt it, and obviously, I'm sure you felt that. There's this wonderful kind of love that started to happen where folks have decided, you know what, I've been meaning to get a new pair of running shoes, or I've been meaning to go explore more. I've been meaning to try to take my fitness level up another level. And, maybe by happenstance of not having any other opportunities to like go to the bar or go to the movie theater or go to that fast food place, those changes actually kind of empowered people to make some really solid decisions about their physical activity.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, I have friends that work in many different industries. And the one thing that I think a silver lining in all of this is time. I think a lot of people have been just very grateful for the extra time that some of my friends have been able to receive through not maybe commuting into work, or if they were furloughed, they got to focus more on personal development things. And I'm a very positive energy type of person. And so I was there for all my friends during, the first several months, because I was fortunate to still be employed. But yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, we joke about it. There was a small running boom this summer. And so fortunate to be in the running industry where, we weren't reliant on people coming into like a gym, and, because gyms had to close down, unfortunately. And so I think a lot of people who are in the fitness community and people who just wanted to spend time outside and just relieve stress really took up, those sports where they could just be outside and move.
Yeah. So what I want to just really make sure that we also touch upon is the fact that, as you called it, the running boom. That's exactly what it was. At Megasports, we shifted our business very quickly. We had to shut down stores during kind of the shutdown to kind of curb the virus. And we kind of scaled all of our online, and we worked really, really hard throughout the summer to make sure that our customers still had access, because they were looking for those shoes. They were looking for those at-home workout aids to help them stay active. But even though the world was kind of shifting to this online world where we still found success, what I love and I want to just really shout out and give appreciation to is, there's also an opportunity for us to be thoughtful to our communities. And Hoka was one of the ones early on that was ready to say, you know what, this is a crisis mode. We want to be there and we want to have supplies for everyone who wants to start running more. But we also need to make sure that we're taking care of folks that are on the front line that maybe don't have the luxury to be extra, have extra time or to go around the block because they're working tremendously. And you guys partnered with us early on to do a Healthcare Heroes giveaway. Can you tell us a little bit more about why healthcare heroes or nurses on the front line were very important to Hoka?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. It is very important to us, and I think that it shouldn't stop, and we should always be very thankful for our healthcare frontline workers. So yeah, we did implement a frontline give back program where we partnered with local retailers in the community to really help support those individuals that were keeping our community safe during those very heightened months in the beginning of the pandemic. And I know that one of our best-selling shoes is the Bondi, and the Bondi receives a lot of support and love from individuals who are in the frontline and healthcare industry. And so it was very necessary, and it just happened naturally because it makes sense, and they support our brand, and we need to support those individuals because they're saving lives. And they're always saving lives. And I think it was just a great moment for us this year to really realize how important it is to have healthcare professionals and people who dedicate their lives to making the world a safer place. So yeah, I'd love to see more of it. You will see more of it going forward. I think not only from Hoka, but just from other brands really stepping up to take shape and serve the community.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Dan Keller, our head of running, who worked with you guys. He partnered with our mega influencer, Deanna O'Connor, who, of course, for folks that are following Omega, know that Deanna is an avid runner. She's a run clubber. She's a CrossFitter, but her passion and her profession is that she's an ER nurse. So we had not only, everyone knows somebody, but we really, within the Omega family, had someone who was every day actively serving on the front line. And when we were able to approach her, when Dan approached her, that was like music to her ears. She absolutely knew that Hoka is one of the most popular brands with healthcare professionals. The nurses were absolutely, and the doctors were absolutely thrilled to be able to do a very safe kind of shoe drop off that Dan Keller organized. You guys have gotten lots of accolades for the quality of your shoe and the performance of your shoe, but it's really touching to know that you kind of hit people right in the heart when you're able to just give because of no other reason other than to say thank you.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And yeah, it's a team effort, like you said. I mean, Dan stepped up as a leader and really wanted to capitalize on the opportunity to help. And I think that's what leadership's all about, is helping others around you and just trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and speaking of healthcare heroes, I've got Scott in comments here. He says, I first saw these shoes 8 years ago during a triathlon training with other ortho surgeons. So he's got to get his hands on them. Apparently that he saw them, he heard people loved them. So Alex, I'm going to introduce you to Scott there.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Love to hear that. And definitely, I'd love to link up after this if possible and hear more about your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you mentioned the Bondi. So part of what we want to do today is we want to talk about some very popular shoes. So I think we should start with the Bondi since you brought it up. Currently, right now, the model is the Bondi 7. It's doing really well at Omegasports. Why are people so in love with this shoe, Alex?
Great. No, favorite part is talking about shoes. So yeah, so I have a men's Bondi 7 here now. It is the most current updated version as of this fall. And so, yeah, I'll touch a little bit about the shoe because it talks about the Hoka experience very well. Since it is our #1 selling shoe across the product line of shoes that we offer, really does a great job of telling the story. So first, when you take a look at the shoe or you see someone wearing a Bondi, the first thing you notice is that cushioned midsole. And what the cushion midsole does is it really helps with shock absorption. A lot of credit comes to this this movement because Hoka really got started in 2009 when that barefoot movement was taking off, and so a lot of people were reducing their cushion and getting that ground feel, that really responsive feel. But with that, there were some injuries that did started to come up, and that's why you don't see the barefoot movement being as popular as it was for a small amount of time. And so what tons of people have really enjoyed about having a cushion midsole is they can see that the shoe does tend to last a little bit longer from a durability standpoint. You have all that foam underneath your shoe. And that really does is just, it does help provide a smoother, softer experience when you're standing in the shoe, walking in the shoe, or running in the shoe. So next I want to touch on another Hoka experience that we have, and that's the Meta Rocker design. So when your first impact is hitting the ground, the way that the foam is carved is that it really allows you to propel forward just because of the subtle shaping that all of our shoes have in them. And so this just helps really promote that natural gait cycle when you are walking or running in our shoes. And then the last Hoka experience I really want to touch on is the active foot frame. And so this is integrated stability in all of our shoes. And what that is your foot sits several millimeters into our high cushion midsole. So a great analogy that we like to use is think of your foot being in a race car bucket seat or a kayak compared to a paddleboard. You're going to be a little bit more sitting into that foam. So it's going to provide a little bit extra sense of stability and security when you're walking and running.
Yeah, and I know that you guys really, with the stability, people are finding success with that shoe as well. And then now we're moving on to the Clifton 7, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
That's another Bondi. I'm sorry, go ahead and hold up the other Bondi.
So this is the women's Bondi. I just wanted to show it for reference. So okay. Yeah, I can move on to the Clifton 7 now. This is another one of our top shoes. It's the second most popular road walking shoe. And like I touched on before, so we know that the Bondi is the most popular shoe in our line. It's one of the most popular shoes for healthcare workers. The Clifton is also the second most popular. And so another great thing that some people may not know about our shoes is that we have 7 models within the Hoka product line that do have the American Podiatric Medical Association seal of acceptance. And so the board that exists within the podiatry industry, they've awarded these shoes with that seal of acceptance. And so that means it's passed many different rigorous tests to be an appropriate shoe to help with different ailments and injuries. And so the Clifton 7 being the second most popular shoe, it is a little bit lighter. It does have a little bit more breathable mesh upper. You are going to see it just has some stripped down materials. You can see in the heel that there's no pull tab. It's now a vertical pull tab. And then there's a little bit less rubber on the bottom. You can see those strategically placed rubber zones, which are typically the most high impact zones for when you're walking and running. You can see the Bondi here just has a little bit more extra rubber around the side of the shoe that you can see, lateral side. And so, yeah, it's just another great option. The Bondi is a little bit more of a premium shoe just because it has more cushion and a little bit more materials, more outsole rubber. It's going to be priced at $150. And then the Clifton 7 is going to be priced at $130.
Yeah. Well, thanks for giving us a closer look at those shoes. So Alex, one of the things that I want to make sure that we kind of, the obvious, right? So that's a lot of foam. So when we are introducing Hoka to folks that come into, maybe they're used to other brands. Hoka, when it came on the scene, it was quite surprising to a lot of folks. You mentioned the barefoot movement, or the minimalist movement, and you guys kind of went in the whole other direction. And you guys really kind of became the ultra running brand for quite some time. But it's important to mention that you don't have to be an ultra runner to enjoy that much, on your sole. Like, everyone now has really kind of rose to the occasion of Hoka's, technology. And I think that's a huge, plus of working with neighborhood sports stores where, every day we're out there saying, you have to try this on. I think for folks that maybe look at a shoe and say, aesthetically, that's not maybe Like when people shop, sometimes they say, well, that's not really my style. But when you start to get beyond that and start putting shoes on, then you start really feeling the difference. And then more importantly, you guys have really now started nailing that style. You guys are making some really wild, amazing looking shoes.
Yeah. Thanks, Del. No, I completely agree. And, when I first saw Hoka back 4 or 5 years ago, I thought the same thing, like, whoa, it's a crazy looking shoe. And so I think the design team and the product team are really starting to push that limit. And what we're known for is to ignite bold change and propel people forward. And we will always stay true to that within our design process and make sure that people have the most enjoyable and comfortable experience when they're wearing our shoes. And so, I mean, like you mentioned also, being in the community, word of mouth is the number one. It's the strongest marketing way that you can really send a message to another human being. And so I think that, like you said, really getting out there in the community, creating special events, neighborhood sports tour is one of the top ways that we can distribute that message, really work together as a community to allow people to experience the brand more.
Yeah, I will tell you that at Omega, we have a certain level of pride on the fact that we feel like we got in with Hoka pretty early, and we were part of the success that you guys currently feel, because we were really early at doing that, and we really kind of had to make our customers try it. I mean, they came in, they weren't really sure about it. It was a new brand, but year after year, we kept growing those numbers, and customers now, we have a huge Hoka One One fan base, including the fact that it's not Hoka One One, it's Hoka One. The real fan, yet it's not Hoka One One. So yeah, I mean, growing that fan base is really, really important to us. But I think some of the things that we try to also share as from a marketing standpoint is that it's really a great shoe for anyone on their feet for hours and hours. That's a nod to the healthcare professionals. And you mentioned the podiatric associations that you guys get lots of accolades for. Our active play experts get referrals from local podiatrists every day, and on their recommendations, you guys are up there. So you guys have really done a great job of not only winning over runners, but really winning over professionals that understand that, if you're on your feet a lot, if you want to propel forward, if you really want that extra cushion and comfort, these are great shoes that you need to try on.
I agree. No, I thank you for that. It really is. And the cool thing too is we're not, like you said, we did start as that ultra running mountain brand, since our brand started in the mountains, but it really has transcended on to many different types of uses. And so it's really cool because we have awesome hiking products. So not only like trail running products, but hiking boots in the market, and really something for everyone. And so it's cool because you can experience Hoka really on any surface of the earth now. We do have a water sandal, which not many people know about. It's on our website, but it's an awesome thing where you can experience a shoe in many different environments.
Yeah, and as far as trail goes, I mean, I know we've got the Speed Go that does very well for us, for folks that are, the trail runners are out there. We're continuously at Omega Sports growing our trail running fan base. And the Speed Goat has always been that go-to shoe on that wall.
Yeah.
And then Alex, I want to go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I want to tease people because I wore my Carbon X's today, and I will say when these guys came out, it was absolutely the shoe that made everyone surprisingly go faster. I think I ran faster than I've ever run, and it scared me, so I slowed down a little bit. So I'm not that runner, but I know you guys have been working on and teasing out some new updates to this shoe. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that, or share what you can, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Carbon X2, it will be coming out in January. And so it's a part of our Fly category. And so I didn't really get to touch on it earlier, but we do have 3 categories of shoe products at Hoka. First one being Glide. So like I touched on earlier with the Bondi and the Clifton. So these are going to be our really well cushioned shoes, and that's what the focus of that category is for. And then next we have Fly. So that's going to be very energy return responsive shoes. And so the Carbon X falls into that And then we have Sky, so anything trail related. But yes, in regards to the Carbon X, I remember the first time I tried on the Carbon X, and I think it's one of the most unique experiences I've ever had in a piece of footwear. And it really comes down to that carbon plate sandwiched in between that cushioned midsole. And there's just so much pop underneath your foot when you really are just trying to move a little bit faster than what you normally used to. And so something that I'm excited about is the Carbon X2, as it's the second edition of this iconic shoe that we've had. And you're just going to be able to see that it's been refined even more. And so we have a softer, lighter foam that's going to be underfoot. It's going to have a really cool, unique swallowtail design. So it's going to have a little bit more of that meta rocker visible. And then the upper is just going to be a little bit more breathable, and the colors are going to be awesome. So that's what I can share with you right now. But don't expect anything less than great with that shoe. So it's going to be fun once it releases.
Absolutely. We were really excited. We were, I think, one of the few in the beginning that got to try it on, and you guys outfitted our whole staff with it and all of the leaders with it. And they were running around. Like, I remember the headquarters, our offices, our corporate offices, people were just running and running and running. We couldn't get back into the meeting because people just kept loving running in those shoes. So we're excited about the Carbon X2. So just a reminder, we've got, Clifton 7s, we've got Bondi 7s. I think we just had a new fresh off the truck arrival just happened with those. So if you are looking for these shoes, you can certainly go to hoka.megasports.com if you want to shop from the comfort of your home. But of course, if you really want to have great conversation and get fitted properly for these shoes, you can also go right into your neighborhood sports store, and any of our Active Play experts are, they've just got a wealth of knowledge thanks to Alex and the team over at Hoka. I know we've got a Raleigh rep that we work with as well. You guys really do a great job of making sure we know everything that we need to about these shoes so that we can help folks fly. So Alex, one of the things that I wanted to also touch on is, Hoka being such a comfortable ride, and for whatever your needs are. If you're on your feet all the time and you like the extra cushion, if you're running because you want to go faster, Hoka is a great shoe for you. But we've worked with you guys on your recovery sandals as well. And that's one thing that you've taken your technology and you now started, I think last year, the last couple of years, really playing in the recovery space as well. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about that.
Yeah, thanks, Del. Second Hoka product I ever owned was the Aura Flip, and I tell you, it was such a good investment of my money, because I would go out for runs or workouts and come back home, and I had hardwood floors at the last place we were renting, and it's just, there's something different about walking around just for doing like just trivial little chores throughout the house and not having like cushion under your feet. And so it's extremely important to have that when you are putting a lot of time on your feet. Even the healthcare workers, if you are running in a shoe, and this just goes back to, just proper maintenance of your body. If you're wearing a shoe all day and you come home and you're on hardwood floors, it can feel very draining on your feet and your legs. And that's why we also recommend, when you are feeling injuries, that you come in to get fitted again and make sure that your shoes do have some life left in them, because that's when injuries can start to occur. And just one thing that I really picked up early on when I was getting into running is that it's just great to have two pairs to cycle through, no matter what shoe it is, just to have that foam recompress, because typically it takes 24 to 48 hours for a shoe to really compress back to its normal shape. And so, yeah, I think that's just something that's important. And, it's not like you need to always have Hoka cushion under your foot, but it is just very enjoyable. And there's a lot of uses for it. So I wake up, and instead of tying my shoes, I just put my slips on and walk the dog down the street, do a casual 20-minute walk that we usually do. But yeah, so we do have the Aura Slide, we have an Aura Flip Flop, and then we have a recovery shoe. And so you will see some updated colors and some things coming in 2021. So, yeah,
I love them. I think it's important for folks to know that these fantastic, trusted brands for running and active and movement are also spending time on technology to make sure that people have time to rest and recover. Because, especially in the wellness category that we're obviously, having this show for, it's important that it doesn't do us any good if we're not resting properly. And it doesn't do us any good if we, as you said, do all the right things when we're active, but then we kind of fall flat when we are not active. I think that's important. So I definitely wanted to make sure that we had some opportunity to talk about what Hoka is doing in the recovery side of things. So one thing that I want to just make sure that our audience understands and that, we continue to keep, promoting is the close relationship that Omega Sports, we're going into our 43rd year of business. Lots of earned years of trust. And I really want you to be able to share with us kind of how important it is for you. You're fairly new to Hoka One One, but how great is it to be able to work with a brand like Omega and those active play experts? Because, most places, I promise you, will not be able to tell you that they've got that one-on-one experience with brands, but Omega really does.
Right. Yeah. It's a dream. I will tell you right now. I'm so grateful for my job every single day. And I worked to get here, and it wasn't an easy process. But it's an amazing job. It really is. Anytime you get to work with individuals that are just passionate, nice, happy people who just care about what they do on a day-to-day basis, it just makes a tremendous difference. And, yeah, I mean, unfortunately for me, I really haven't had the opportunity to like you mentioned, build super strong relationships with the active play, specialists at Omega Sports. I am familiar with the ones in my territory, but in regards to just being able to just spend time together, it's just been so tough with the pandemic. But that doesn't mean, that's an excuse. Like I said, there is opportunity to connect virtually and have more phone calls and really just try to connect in a safe way. But yeah, I mean, it just goes back to human nature. We all want to spend time together in person and really just form memories through experiences. And so I think, Omega being a leader in, the movement industry and just being active, member of society and really just promoting just wellness in general is something I stand by. And I'm just so privileged to work with individuals like yourself and all the members at Omega Sports.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it in return. I mean, everyone from Omega, from you to all the sales folks to the corporate side, we really enjoy working with you guys. You put out phenomenal products. One thing that Omega is very proud of, we don't beat our chest a lot about, but we are very particular about the brands that we bring in. Because our trust with our communities mean everything to us. So, we don't go for quick fads. We don't go for, the newest and shiniest new thing. We really do make sure that whatever we're putting in our stores, that they're going to perform. And you guys have definitely performed. You continue to keep enhancing your performance, and it's just been a great relationship. And I love that our Hoka One One fans got a chance to meet you today, Alex. We'll be able to, closely meet with you on more events, because I know we love having events at Omega Sports. So when appropriate and when safe, we'll be able to have you at some fun events coming up. But in the meantime, we'll have to think about some collaborative opportunities for us to continue this virtual neighborship, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the quote that I like is just learn as if you'll live forever. And so we're always just trying to adapt and create something special, and maybe it takes time, right? Maybe it takes a couple months, or maybe, next fall we'll be able to have something really incredible. But it's just, always trying to make each day a little bit better, each week, each month, each year. So I really appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, it's been fantastic. I want to let you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Again, everyone can go to, you saw the link earlier on, it said Hoka, all of the great models that we talked about today and some extras that we didn't get a chance to cover. You can always go online and shop, but more importantly, go into your neighborhood sports store, say hello to our friends over there in our stores. They're sitting there waiting to help you guys. They're working with customers every single day. Proper fit is important to us. Getting to know the product that you're putting on is very important to us. and really just, getting that great customer service. That's one thing that you can always expect at Omega Sports is superior customer service. Alex, you have a great weekend, okay?
Hey, thank you so much. And Omega Nation, stay strong. So thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Omega Nation, there you go. All right, well, it's been a great show. I want to thank Alex Guillaume, our field experience rep from Hoka One One. Again, we've got the Bondi 7, we've got the Clifton 7 in stores. Over the summer, everyone was like dying to get those shoes, and we got them as fast as we possibly can, and we've just got some more that came in. So definitely make sure that you're running to your Mega Sports store and to omegasports.com to check it out. Guys, check your email. Check your email. We've got some fun things happening today, and then tomorrow we have a big drop. So definitely check your email. Continue to follow us online. Today we streamed not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube. So we're trying some new things. We're shaking some things up. And again, of course, check out our playmore.omegasports.com for all great content. We've got fun things happening. You guys have a great weekend. If you're out there figuring out a new creative way to celebrate Halloween, just stay safe. Be careful out there. Have fun. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Remember to vote.